We're reporting from the National Association of Farm Broadcasters Convention going on in Kansas City. This is Trade Talk, and we're going to visit with Val Dolcini. He is the Farm Service Agency Administrator. And Val, of course, Farm Bill, something that's on a lot of folks' minds out in the country. Let's start with the ARC and the also the PLC issue. Tell us where we're at there.
Great, and great to be with you here at NAFB, Joe. ARC and PLC are the two big cornerstone commodity programs contained in the Farm Bill. And we're at the process right now of meeting with farmers and ranchers and working on the process of reallocating base acres and updating their yields. That process will be going on until the 27th of next February. And then they'll have to elect between the ARC and PLC programs. That's a process that will continue until the 31st of March, and then we'll begin program signups. But in the meantime, we're conducting a number of public meetings all across the nation. I think we've had over 1,300 public meetings from coast to coast so far, including many in Nebraska. We're working with commodity organizations, Farm Bureau chapters, farm advocacy groups, and others to make sure that folks have as much information as they can about these important programs.
I know it's kind of tough to get into on some of the specifics, but what's been the most popular option down the road, do you think?
You know, it really depends from region to region which program is more popular. The Price Loss Coverage Program, PLC, which in some ways is similar to the counter-cyclical programs that we've administered before. The Agricultural Risk Coverage Program, which covers revenue losses on the farm, I think will also be popular in corn and soybean country, but it really is a decision that's left to the farmers, and that's why we're building in plenty of time and plenty of web-based information and public meetings to make sure that these decisions are well informed.
There's been a little bit of an issue, I think, with wheat growers on as far as this last, as far as the growing season sign up. Any adjustment being made there on that timetable?
I don't know that we'll make further adjustments, but we want to make the process as producer-friendly as possible. And so, you know, the wheat organizations have been in touch with our offices around the nation, and they have with our folks in Washington, D.C. too. We really want to make sure that, given the fact that it's such a new program and really represents a paradigm shift in some respects, that folks have as much info as they can about these programs.
Any dates that growers out there need to be aware of as far as the sign-up periods, things like that?
The two that I mentioned are the key right now, and that's to get in before the 27th of February 2015 to reallocate base acres and update the yields. And then the election between ARC or PLC will happen between late November and late March of 2015. Those are the two key dates to be aware of.
Now let's talk about the Livestock Disaster Assistance Program. That's been something you guys have been very, of course, involved in here lately too. How's that been going?
That was the first big program that we rolled out after the President signed the Farm Bill on the 7th of February this year. To date, and we rolled that program out, I should say, by the 15th of April. To date, we've assisted hundreds of thousands of livestock operations around the country that have been hit by drought or wildfires or blizzards in the case of the Dakotas. It's been very successful so far, and many states still have appointments through January of next year. So that program is going to continue to provide good safety net support for the nation's livestock operations. We've also got a great dairy program that we rolled out in September, and the deadline for that is December 5. So we're rolling out programs right and left to support farmers and ranchers all across the country.
You guys have been very proactive as far as keeping that livestock program going and helping those producers that have been really hard hit this last year.
It's been a tough year for livestock operations. Mother Nature didn't do any favors when it came to the weather over the last several years, and so drought has impacted large parts of the country. And LFP is designed to respond to that and to provide a little bit of financial assistance to help operations, you know, get up off the ground and dust themselves off and replenish their herds and get back into the business of supplying beef for the nation and the world.
Any last thoughts on the safety net? Good job by this Farm Bill to provide one for producers out there?
I think it's been great, Joe. You know, the safety net is an important part of the programs that USDA administers every day all across the nation. They're designed not only to support the work of our farmers and ranchers, but the consumers that depend on them. And that's why in the United States we have a relatively safe and reliable and inexpensive food supply. It's due in large part to the hard work of farmers and ranchers, but also to safety net programs that support them. So I'm really glad that we're in the business of rolling out a farm bill, and 2014 and 15 will be busy years for FSA.
That is Val Dolcini. He is the administrator for the Farm Service Agency here at Trade Talk at the National Association of Farm Broadcasters Convention in Kansas City. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Joe Gangwish.